Hello, listeners. Welcome to today's episode of the Outfield Show Stream, where all the cricket is condensed in a podcast and brought to you. Today, on Wednesday Wisdom, we look at an incident which happened on the field, but it had huge repercussions off the field as well. But before we jump into today's episode, don't forget to subscribe to our podcast channel on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Just search for the Outfield Show Stream in your search bar in either of these apps, and bam, you'll find us. Subscribe to us and turn on those notifications for more such engaging content. Enjoy today's episode of Wednesday Wisdom. If the game of cricket is religion in India, then Sachin Tendulkar is undoubtedly the most worshipped god in the country. An incident during India's tour of South Africa in 2001 threatened to rip apart the world of cricket, and let alone that, it added a chink in Sachin Tendulkar's illustrious armor. ICC match referee Mike Dennis became a villain, because of which a huge outrage was followed and Indian protesters took to the streets when their god was called a cheater. From tea kiosks to newspaper offices to people on the street, from former players to the parliament, the Dennis the Menace affair gave a glimpse of how deeply Indian emotions run when it comes to its cricketers, especially if it's Sachin Ramesh Tendulkar. What happened in 2001 though? India was scheduled to play South Africa in a 3-match away series. Everything was going well until the 20th of November 2001. During the second test match against South Africa, ICC match referee Mike Dennis disciplined 6 Indian players, including Sachin Tendulkar. While Tendulkar was accused of ball tampering, Virender Sehwag, Deepdas Gupta, Harbhajan Singh, SS Das were hauled up for excessive appealing. Then skipper Sourav Ganguly was also charged for not being able to control his team. What were the punishments given by Mike Dennis to all of these players? Tendulkar was handed a 1 test match ban due to ball tampering charges, and he was fined 75% of his match fee. Virender Sehwag was also handed a 1 test match ban due to excessive appealing and also was fined 75% of his match fee for abusive and threatening behavior on field. Sourav Ganguly was also handed a 1 test match ban and 2 one-day internationals ban due to the inability to control the behavior of his team on field. Harbhajan Singh, Shiv Sundar Das and Deepdas Gupta were also handed test match bans due to excessive appealing and were fined 75% of their match fee. But was Tendulkar actually picking the ball? Tony Greig thought so. Let's see how the events of this incident unfolded. The then BCCI president, Jagmohan Dalmia, called for Dennis to be replaced in the 3rd test. He said, either Dennis should be charged, and if that is not possible, at least the decisions made by him should be kept in abeyance. It is definitely shocking to say the least. What Dalmia effectively meant over here is that either Dennis should be removed from the 3rd test as match referee, or the Indian players should be cleared of their charges. After all, it included some big names of Indian cricket: Harbhajan, Ganguly, Sehwag, Tendulkar. These were the core of the then Indian team. But the International Cricket Council maintained its staff. The chief executive Malcolm Speed rejected Dalmia's request. He said Dennis will be the match referee in the 3rd test. Angry Indians demonstrated on the streets, burning effigies of Dennis, and Dennis later on arranged for a press conference just 3 days before the 3rd test. What further fueled the anger of Indians is that Dennis, even after arranging that press conference, said that he won't be answering any questions. And that was stupendous to say the least. Ravi Shastri, he represented the emotions of angry Indians. He said, if Dennis is not going to answer any questions, why is he sitting here? We know how he looks like. Later on, the South African government issued a statement in support of the Indian team, and the South African Cricket Board agreed to replace Dennis. But ICC still backed their man. They refused to recognize the third test match between India and South Africa as an official test if it goes ahead without Dennis as the match referee. The third test between India and South Africa, the match records, the scores, team records, team rankings, none of it was going to be considered in the third test match as it was an unofficial test. The famous, well, not for the right reasons, but it was the first ever unofficial test played.
ICC regulation for me as a match referee that I cannot talk about the decisions that I make. It's out of my hands completely.
If he cannot answer, somebody has to, because you have called us for a press conference. I think we are entitled to get answers.
My question is, if Mike Dennis is not going to answer any questions, what is he doing here? We know what he looks like.
Now, the South African government and the South African Cricket Board, this third test match was very important for them. If this test wasn't televised, they would lose 4 million South African ranks back then. And that was a huge amount. And Cricket South Africa couldn't afford such a huge loss. In fact, the then CEO of the South African Cricket Board actually, on a video recording, said that if he were given a 4 million ranks, he would not let that third test match happen and he would not back India. But South African Cricket Board needed that money back then. Despite all the drama, the unofficial test got underway with former South Africa wicketkeeper Dennis Lindsay as the match referee. Sehwag wasn't included in the Indian team. South Africa easily won the match with Shaun Pollock scoring a ton. Later on, after the test match, Jagmohan Dalmia spoke to the press saying Sehwag has served his suspension and will be available to play the first test against England in Mohali in the upcoming series. This was a home series, but the ICC still maintained their stance. They set a deadline for India to take a final call on whether or not Sehwag will play against England. Sehwag was named in the 14-man squad for the first test. BCCI didn't step down. Dalmia refused to accept the ICC deadline. But ICC still maintained their stance. They said that the third test was an unofficial one and any bans won't be under effect of that test match. So, the ban had to be reinstated on the players. ICC decided not to lift any of the bans from any of the players. What happened later on? India finally agreed to drop Sehwag from the first test as ICC set up a commission to examine Dennis's decisions. People in India felt that they were being racist against the brown Indian side. The matter was getting out of hand. This had to be done and the decisions taken by Dennis had to be looked upon, had to be checked upon, just to give the Indian fans a sense of satisfaction. Racism has been a part of this game in the earlier years, but this was the most recent case of racism if Dennis actually took those decisions because of that reason. After this game, Dennis served as a match referee in only 2 more tests and 3 more ODIs and was not reappointed by the ICC. An ICC Disputes Resolution Committee headed by Michael Beloff, the then chairman of the ICC Code of Conduct Commission, was scheduled to hear the case on 6th and 7th of June 2002. But the hearing was postponed a week before its scheduled date due to the ill health of Dennis. Dennis cited reasons of his heart surgery, so he couldn't be available for the hearing. The resolution committee never again met due to Dennis's deteriorating health condition. After 13 years, Tendulkar looks back and reacts to that incident. Post-retirement from international cricket, the Master Blaster in his autobiography, Playing It My Way, wrote that he felt humiliated to be branded a cheat. He said, "I was shocked because I had always played cricket with integrity and honesty, and I would never do such a thing. I wasn't prepared to let it pass. I informed Mike Dennis that I would complain about the allegation and would not keep quiet about it. I was prepared to abandon the tour if need be, but wasn't ready to be labelled as a cheat. It was about honour, and there was no way I could allow a match referee to cast aspersions on my credibility. It was an avoidable incident, and that one left everyone bitter in the end." Tendulkar was seen running the ball through the seam with his nails. Tendulkar said that he was actually cleaning the ball for Javagal Srinath. And knowing Tendulkar as a man, he would never commit anything wrong or anything that would hamper the spirit of the game. Former Indian skipper Sourav Ganguly is always known for backing his players. He said, "In keeping with the rule book, I will not comment on any of these decisions. But like the rest of the Indians, I feel the saddest part was that Mr. Dennis did not speak at the press conference." You arrange a press conference and you don't utter a word in it, sends a wrong message. If you've taken a decision, in today's world, everything needs an explanation. Former Australian skipper Steve Waugh felt otherwise. He said, if Tendulkar picked the seam, then he's got to pay the penalty just like everyone else. There shouldn't be any favors just because of your reputation and the way you play the game. If you do something wrong, you've got to get pulled up for it. It is none of your business on what goes on as long as we play good cricket. Harm Venter, the South African cameraman who captured the images, said, "The camera doesn't lie and the incident that resulted in Tendulkar's hearing was not one-off. We clearly saw him running his thumbnail around the seam several times like he'd been doing earlier. I was surprised he didn't even try to hide it. It was blatant. He was running his thumb around the seam earlier in the day when he was fielding at mid-off when Javagal Srinath was bowling." Well, the sad part for most Indians and something that hurt the Indian sentiments and the emotions of Indian players and public at large was that a process wasn't followed. If you don't like the behavior of certain players, you let the captain know and hand the players a warning. Well, what we saw is a press release by Dennis where he's banned 5 Indian players. We don't know if the process was followed, and he also didn't utter a single word in that press conference. That didn't help either. Also, there had been excessive appealing from the South African side as well. Sean Pollock himself did excessive appealing on a couple of occasions. But only Indian players were charged and none of the South African players? Well, that's a question, right? You guys decide on who was right and who was wrong. But that was today's episode of Wednesday Wisdom. Hope you liked today's episode. Enjoy. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of Wednesday Wisdom. We hope you enjoyed today's episode, and if you did, leave us a rating on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Let us know how you like our content. And to keep yourself updated, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at The Outfield Show Stream. Thank you so much for tuning in and have a great day ahead.